Well, I'll tell you, one of the next steps for the Phoenix Suns, if they can pull it off, is obviously to move Bradley Beal. However, they have to do that. And again, Bradley Beal's not a bad player, but you can't rely on him to play. And more importantly, you can rely on his contract to hinder you. And they now have Jalen Green, too. So Bradley Beal becomes even more redundant just in a basketball sense.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, Basinonians. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. When you stop and think about it, man, I was jacked up. I was fired up when they went out and got Kevin Durant. And I was jacked up and fired up when they went out and acquired Bradley Beal as well. I was jacked up. Man, to think we're at this point right now where the KD trade just came down yesterday, and now Bradley Beal is next. Man, what could they get for Bradley Beal?
Oh, I don't even let my mind go there, honestly. It's what do they have to give up to get rid of that contract, But I thought this was interesting. Yesterday, Gambo said this on Burns and Gambo, and I'll just play it for you.
I'm starting to hear some rumblings. There might be a team or two that would trade for Bradley Beal. Now, that shocks a lot of people. I get it. But I think that will be the first order of business. I've said all along, however it happens, I think they got to move on.
Yes.
This again goes back to
they have to move on.
They have to. And I got to think on some level, Bradley Beal, we've had him on the show a few times. I don't know him. I don't know how he thinks, but I'm just
Seems like a good guy.
He does. And I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes, which is tough because I'm not making $53 million a year. But if somebody wanted to give it to me, this would be a lot easier.
With a no-trade clause.
Yeah, that's true. One of just two in the NBA.
You got to throw that in.
But I got to think on some level, last year wasn't fun for him either. Now he's not going to throw away $53 million. I get that. But if you're talking to him, if you're having that open dialogue behind the scenes of, hey, maybe we do have a couple teams that can trade for you, like Gambo just said. I am surprised by that. But if you're having those conversations with other teams, you got to talk to Beal about waiving the no-trade clause, or you got to talk to him about taking a little bit of a pay hit so you can buy him out with the thought that if I'm Bradley Beal, that maybe I can go somewhere else as a free agent then and make up the pay hit I took. Either way, they're limited in what they can really do with him here, and I got to think he just wants a fresh start somewhere else.
So how many of the 5 second-round picks do you think you're going to have to ball up and ship out with Bradley Beal?
How many would you be willing to? I would much prefer to give up a couple second-rounders than have to attach. I'm not attaching Ryan Dunn.
Yes.
And
no, I'm with you on that, too.
I don't want to have to attach Oso either.
Yeah, you got to dig your heels in on this. You got some young guys that are long and athletic. That's exactly what you need. Hopefully they're going to continue to develop. You think of Ryan Dunn and how much better he was in terms of shooting the three than what we thought he might be. Now, he wasn't great, and he kind of faded a little bit at the end of the season. There's no doubt about that. But let's face it, when you juxtapose what he did in college to what he was doing his rookie year in terms of shooting the three, it's not even close.
No.
He showed an ability to get better at doing that. And I want to see that continue to develop.
Well, and we talked about it when he was drafted last year. It's not like he's the perfect player other than his shooting. But for the most part, it was like all this guy has to do is get in the gym for the next, he got drafted in late June, for the next 4 months. So he's ready for the season and just shoot the ball for the next. And it kind of seems like that's what he did. He's never going to be Steph Curry, but he shot well enough last year where he could stay on the floor and play defense, and then he actually probably shot even better than well enough because there were games where he was a threat to score. I say I don't want to attach Dunn and I don't want to attach Oso. I understand there's a world where I might have to attach Oso, but I really don't want to attach Ryan Dunn in a trade. I don't want to throw away Ryan Dunn just to move Bradley Beal because Wolf. When I look at the Suns, like when you look at them, who do you think, okay, these guys are here for the long term? I have Devin Booker and Ryan Dunn. I don't know anybody else right now.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe Jalen Green. I don't know.
Yeah, I really do like Royce O'Neal. I like him a lot.
I do too.
I love how he plays. I think he's a good defensive player. He's a good two-way guy, can shoot the three, gets a little streaky from time to time. Grayson Allen is I'm wondering what's going to happen with Grayson Allen in trying to move that contract as well.
No, like a year ago, his contract was great. Now
I
his
think he's
contract's
going to
horrible.
be here. I think Grayson Allen is going to be here.
Well, then they absolutely have to move Beal. It makes no sense
They
to have
absolutely-
Booker, Beal, Jalen
Yeah.
Green, and Grayson Allen.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Honestly, they've got to move Bradley Beal. Are there some teams that are out there that would take Bradley Beal? Yeah, I think if you throw in 2 or maybe even 3 second-round picks, I'm thinking that might be.
And maybe that's why they wanted
That
all the
might be it
second-round
right
picks.
there.
Yeah, and I think you would probably have to do it, honestly. I think if a team came to me and they're like, we'll take Beal, which I still honestly don't believe that a team would take Beal's contract. But if they did, but they're like, you got to give us 2 second-round picks, done. 3, maybe even done. And this goes back to, I hope the front office truly knows what they're doing. I mean, they're an unknown right now, because part of the reason I'd be willing to give that up to move Beal is it's like, okay, here we go. Build this team now. Go out and sign the free agents you want. Make the trades you want. You have an owner that's going to spend money.
Yeah.
He's not going to spend into the second apron again, because we've seen that's just brutal. But if you move Beal, you've got a lot of flexibility. It's just, I don't know if maybe Brian Gregory is great at this. Maybe he's really inexperienced. I don't know yet.
Are you expecting anything to happen? Command and control. I'm talking to you as well. Do you expect anything to happen before the draft, before the NBA draft right now?
With Beal?
With Beal, do you expect anything to happen before? And how about this? Even without Bradley Beal, how about just a move? Period. A significant move. Do you expect?
Can it be during the draft? I think something will happen during the draft.
During the draft, you
with
think
maybe
something-
a Royce O'Neal or a Grayson Allen.
yeah,
one of those guys.
Exactly.
It does
no, I
feel
would
like
agree.
Grayson Allen
I would
is-
agree with that.
But before the
during
draft, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
and
talking
with
about
Beal,
before the draft.
and
right?
Beal's going to be moved after the draft, if he's moved at all.
Okay.
They've been linked to Porzingis a few times now lately, which, again, I think you have to move Beal before you can really do anything like that. Otherwise, you're basically investing any space you have in a guy that doesn't play a ton, or at least doesn't consistently play a ton. But when he does, he's good. I'm just going to read this to you because I mentioned it to you before the show, Wolf. And every time I do this, people are like, well, you can't go by Vegas odds. That doesn't mean anything. I get it. But I just want to tell you who the team is that Vegas has. One of these Vegas sports betting sent the site out, or sent the odds out. Like, here's DeMar DeRozan's next team. Here's Bradley Beal's next team. They do this with every player that's kind of on the block. The one that they had as the odds-on favorite to be Bradley Beal's next team is probably the last team in the world I would have picked. Oklahoma City. I don't see it, man. I just don't. And
Wow.
if Bradley Beal agrees to take the hit and take the buyout, then there will be teams interested in him at that point. He's not a horrible player, but I just can't imagine teams lining up to make a trade for that contract unless you're giving them something really nice.
Yeah, I don't see that either. That would be a shock to me.
It would really help, though. Somebody wanted to help the Suns out,
Yeah, that would be nice.
but then Beal's still got to waive the no trade clause too. So-
SGA for Beal?
oh, okay, we're going to break. Which do you
Even
guys-
swap. I mean, I that's pretty fair.
Jamal, you're supposed to be the voice of reason. We established that
That's
yesterday.
right. You were the voice of
And
God,
reason.
this is awkward.
This is why
No, you're
Rick
not the
isn't
voice
the
of
voice of reason when he jumps in with Bradley Beal for SGA trades. This is awkward.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.